People thought he was strange. Some called him arrogant. Some called him weak. Because every day, this man spoke only 10 words. Not a single word more, not a single word less. And one day, the same people who mocked him begged him to speak. But he stayed silent. This was not a monk or a saint. He was just a normal man living in a normal town filled with very, very noisy people. People who talked all day, complained all day, and argued all day. And among them lived one man who chose silence. Every morning, he woke up early and walked calmly through the streets. He listened far more than he ever spoke. He lived by one strict, unwavering rule, only 10 words a day. If he said, "Good morning, how are you today?" 5 of his precious words were already gone. People laughed at him. They would ask him why he never spoke, whether he was angry, or if he thought he was better than everyone else. He would simply smile, but never answer. His words were a limited resource, and he chose them with immense care. At his workplace, the mockery continued. His co-workers called him the silent man, and said he had nothing useful to contribute. Meetings were chaotic and loud. Everyone desperately wanted attention, so everyone talked at the same time, over one another. The man would just sit quietly in the corner, observing. When problems arose, people shouted. When mistakes happened, people pointed fingers and blamed each other. The man said nothing, and everyone believed he had no power, no influence. Then one day, a very serious problem appeared at work. A critical mistake that could cost the company a fortune. The room exploded with noise as everyone started talking at once. It was pure chaos. No one was listening. Frustrated, the manager suddenly turned to the silent man and asked what he thought. The entire room went quiet. The man stood up and spoke only 8 words. He said, "Stop talking, look carefully." The answer is obvious. The room fell completely silent. Everyone looked again at the problem, and suddenly, they saw it. The solution, the mistake, it was right there in front of them, hidden by the noise. The problem was solved. 8 simple words were enough. That was the day the laughter stopped. Later, a curious coworker asked him why he spoke so little. The man replied with 10 words. Words lose value when used without thinking. That was all he said. But those words echoed in the minds of everyone who heard them. He had learned a long time ago that people often talk to feel important, to hide their fears, and to avoid the hard work of actual thinking. Silence, on the other hand, forces clarity. Silence makes people uncomfortable. And silence gives immense power to the one who controls it. Over time, something fundamental shifted in that office. When the man spoke, people stopped everything and listened intently. When he stayed silent, people felt uneasy, wondering what he was thinking. Meetings became calmer. Arguments became fewer. Decisions became clearer. People finally understood that if he chose to speak, his words mattered. One day, his boss approached him and said that he trusted his judgment more than anyone else in the entire company. The man just nodded. His words for the day were already used. Then came the hardest moment of all. The company faced a major crisis. Jobs were at risk, and fear was thick in the air. People panicked, blamed each other, and talked endlessly, creating more confusion. The boss, desperate, looked at the man and asked him to say something, anything, to guide them. The man stood up. He had 10 words left for the day. He looked at the anxious faces around him and said, "Fear is loud. Calm decisions are quiet. Choose carefully." Then he sat down. Those 10 words became the guiding principle for every decision that followed. And the company survived. After that, no one ever mocked him again. No one called him weak or arrogant. In fact, people started trying to copy him, but they all failed. They discovered that silence was much harder than they ever expected. It required discipline, confidence, and a deep sense of self-respect. Anyone could talk, but very, very few could stay silent with purpose. The man never explained his rule again. He didn't need to. His actions, and his carefully chosen words, had said it all. So, remember this story. Your words should be rare, not cheap. They should have weight. Silence is not emptiness. It is a source of incredible strength. Those who talk less are often heard more. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you think. See you in the next one.